Hey guys, and welcome to yet another studio workshop here at the HOFA-College. My name's Joshua Horspool, and I'm here with
Marvin, hi.
Hey. And so today we're going to have ourselves another Show Your Mix episode. Probably the most of you will already know how this will go, but for everyone that's new, I'll explain it for new. And yeah, so the way that this thing works is that you can send us your songs and we'll react to your mixes, your production and performance live and try to give you the best possible feedback in the short time that we have. And yeah, if you want to send us your songs, please send them to showyourmix@hofa.de. And please use like a high resolution MP3 at least, or a WAV file, anything that's high resolution. And please only send us the direct files or use like Google Drive links or WeTransfer. Anything like a Spotify link or SoundCloud or YouTube, anything like that, we can't really use because we have to pull the sound files into our DAW. So, yeah, and with that, I'll have my first check and see if we have anything here. Alright. Okay, then
All right,
I'd say that we'll start with this track here.
let's go.
Already load it up in the analyzer. Ooh. As you can see, it might take some buffer time. Ah,
Yeah,
that looks good. Drop it in the analyzer and let's take a first listen, shall we? Very nice. Alright. I'll just skip through the rest of the song because it's quite a long song. Yeah, 4 minutes 20. So drum loop at the end. Yeah, nice.
Nice
So,
track.
okay, shall I start?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
okay. Yeah, definitely decent production. Can't say anything against that. Like, at some points I could have used somewhat more elements, especially like, I don't know, was it during this section or here? Where we had the vocals going on, I could have used somewhat more elements there, and a little bit more energy, a little bit more volume in the instrument section of the song, because like, yeah, like the synthesizer that you hear in the background and the other instruments, they're like still staying pretty quiet, which you can also see in the analyzer represented right here. Yeah, exactly. It's just dips off in the mids here, and yeah, like by raising the volume of the synths and other elements in the song, you could just like fill out that frequency area a bit more. And the other thing that I noticed about the bass was that the main bass sound that we could hear was the first overtone, and it wasn't like the fundamental of the bass synth, and that made it feel like a little bit too high in frequency, because it almost was impossible to hear the fundamental frequency, but you could see it in the down parts, where like right here, that the fundamental frequency is way quieter than the first overtone right here. And yeah, exactly. I would just like to even things out a little bit more. I would just like lower the volume of this 100 hertz area and raise the volume of the 50 hertz area, just to like even things out a little bit more. And that would definitely also make it a little bit easier to master at the end of it, because the bass won't give like too much energy won't be too much energy going on in the low end, which you can also see here right in the analyzer. And yeah.
Yeah.
You have anything else to say?
Yeah, all in all, I think it's a really cool production, and I think there are some cool contrasts. And yeah, for example, this part, maybe you can play it, Joshua. There, the drums will stop, and then there's just a bandpass going on, so that there are no high-end frequencies and low-end frequencies. And when the drum part kicks in, there it all opens up. I really like this. And yeah, I got something to say to the panorama, the balance between left and right. So there is a snare drum in the main part, and it's layered, I think, and one part of the layer is slightly on the left side. So maybe you can check that, so that the snare drum is in all is just in the mid. And additionally, I think that the hi-hat could be a little bit more on the side, so you can create more stereo width. And to do that, you can also put the volume just a little bit lower. That's all that I can add for this track.
Yeah, definitely. maybe you could also use some distortion or saturation on the hi-hats that could also like
Yeah.
fill the heads out a little bit more while not getting any louder, but creating a like fuller sound. Yeah. So let's see. What else do we have? Not too much at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's go
You
with
can still send us some tracks via email to showyourmix@hofa.de. Yeah, just some
exactly.
download links.
Take some buffer time again. Yeah.
All right.
That looks better. Pull that into the analyzer and switch that off. Let's have a listen. I'll just turn this down a little bit because it seems to be a little bit louder than the song before. Nice.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
would you like to go first this time, or?
Yep. So as you maybe saw or heard, Joshua switched to mono at some time. Yeah, so sometimes we like to check what's going on in the mid signal or in the side signal of our tracks that we hear. And When Joshua switched to mono, you could hear pretty good that the pad was pretty quiet. So that says the pad has a lot of side amount, and I feel like it's especially on the low mids. So maybe you can try to use a MS mid side EQ and lower the low mid frequencies a bit. So and in contrast to that, you can raise the overall volume, and then there you have more pad sound in your mid signal, and it's more mono compatible. Yeah, and another pretty big thing in my opinion is the drum loop. All in all, it sounds pretty cool, and it has a vintage loop vibe because of its saturation, and also because of the lack of sub bass. But this is one point which I miss in the track, because overall we have not much elements that have these frequencies. So I would say that you could pronounce the sub bass range of your kick a little bit more. Of course, you can play with that. We heard that you have some automation going on your EQ with low pass and high pass filters, but at the main big parts, we definitely need some bass, which is really going down. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're going to listen to it like over a huge sound system, then it can be quite demanding for the human ear if there are so many like mid frequencies and high mid frequencies. Uh, yeah, but yeah, except for that, you almost said everything that I wanted to say. So, um, yeah, I've also noticed that. Wait 1 second. There, that's better. I've also noticed that when you use the bit crushing function, that this generates a lot of like low end rumble noise that's it's not quite audible, but especially if you're going to listen to it over a bigger sound system and with a subwoofer, it can be quite audible. And I would just like say everything below your fundamental frequency of the kick, or if you decide to add a bass now to the track or anything, everything below that fundamental frequency can just go. Just cut it off. It's not needed, and it will also just like help you to get your mix sounding a little bit louder, because it's just like a technical thing that will keep your master a little bit quieter. Yeah, but that's about everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But cool track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely nice track. Okay.
Do we have something else?
We've got something.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a track by Joe's. He writes, this is a pop song. This is a rock pop song I composed, recorded, and mixed, and would like to get your feedback, if possible, in today's Show Your Mix. Name of the song is "We All Live in the Same Place." Valutis. That's the initials of the title. All right. Let's
Okay.
take a listen. Ooh. That
It
def-
seems
loud.
pretty loud.
Yeah. For a mix. Definitely.
Okay.
Come on. Why is it buffering like this today?
Maybe it's Ableton Live. It's not my door.
So that's better. Okay, I'll just turn that down a tad and let's take a listen. I think we can skip a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, a really cool track.
Yeah.
Nice. Could you play the verse in mono, please? Just a second. I think anywhere here.
There. All right.
Right here.
There.
Yeah.
Crossing boundaries where nothing cannot hide. We're looking down.
Yeah. Okay. first of all, I really like the production, and the mixing is also pretty good. The point why I wanted to hear it in mono is because when the snare hits in the track, at the first look, I thought that there's something going on in the side signal, because the snare was not as clear as I would expect it and would expect. So I think maybe there could be some more high end on the snare drum, and I think that's a multi-mic recording, and maybe you can check that again. I think something is going on with the phase relations regarding the snare drum sound. So I think maybe it's the overheads with the snare drum together. If you flip the polarity of one mic signal, maybe the snare automatically gets really good.
Yeah, it's definitely. I also noticed that like the range around like 1 kilohertz and 2 kilohertz feels also a little bit too. It could use a little more energy around there, just fill up that snare body a little bit.
The aggressiveness. And,
Yeah.
Yes.
Crunch.
To the production aspects, I really like the verse where you have rhythmic guitar parts and also important pauses where you can hear the bass really good. In my opinion, the high frequencies of the bass could be even louder. So that's my personal taste. I really like some, especially in this genre, I like some distorted and bright electric bass sounds. And yeah, so you did a really good job with the rhythmic part between guitars and pauses just with the bass. And another point to the contrast between verse and the chorus, there I really like that the verse was pretty rhythmic, and then suddenly when the chorus kicks in, it gets really spatial, and because of the vocals, some background vocals are joining, and the reverbs are more pronounced, and yeah, that gets a really nice open feeling. And yeah, do you want to take over?
Yeah. Yeah, about the guitars. For my personal taste, they could have also used a little bit more high mid energy, like a little bit more mid energy around around like 1 kilohertz again, just to like give it a little bit more crunch. And because I felt like the guitars, for my taste, they felt a little bit hollow around that area, because they had a lot going on at around like 5 kilohertz, and they have a lot going on in their fundamental frequencies, but like that's where the body of the guitar is, like, especially if you play like power chords and distorted power chords, there's a lot of body within the 1 kilohertz range. And but that can easily start to compete with vocals. So if you boost that frequency, you have to be sure that like you don't let it let it compete too much with the vocals. And if they do, like, you can always use a dynamic equalizer that is sidechained by the vocals. So this frequency, like around 1 kilohertz, can dip down when the vocals cut in. But that's only a problem if you decide to raise this 1 kilohertz frequency. And yeah, also I noticed that the de-essing on the vocals was a little bit too intense for my taste at some points. Not all the time, but I think it could use a little less de-essing just to give the vocals a little more natural sound because it was quite noticeable at some points, but not definitely not too bad. Okay.
Yeah. What you also can hear and especially see really good is if you take a look at the analyzer at 300 hertz, and there's some EQing going on the mix bus. I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe
Huge
you,
dip.
yeah, maybe you did some notch filtering or yeah. Bell filtering with a high Q factor. So maybe there was some resonance, but especially if you also are in the mixing stage, and then you can have a listen to the single instruments and check where the resonance is coming from, and EQ the certain instrument. But this amount of EQing on the mix bus can be pretty drastic, and it's coloring the sound pretty hard. Yeah, so this also leads to the overall hollow impression that I have on this track. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, but
Apart from that, I really like the chorus, like
Yeah.
really catchy,
yeah,
definitely nice song.
really special vibe.
Okay, then let's get rid of that one
Yeah.
and check for the next song. Hey. Got oops.
Dark Ritual.
Nice. So, the song is called Dark Ritual by Eric Wiedemanns. Yeah. I mean, would you like to check the chat for a second, see if anything's going on?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment, alright. Okay. Then I'll just pull that into the analyzer
Yeah.
and it does that thing again. And we'll wait.
Just a second.
There's definitely something weird going on. I shouldn't do that every single time I try to put something in there. Okay. Then let's have a first listen. Maybe I'll raise the volume a little bit. Just to have a fair comparison.
Yeah.
I'll skip through the song a little bit. Nice.
Nice.
Really cool. I really like the style of the song. Really like dark, ambient, tribal-y, really, really nice stuff. Definitely my first time getting a track like this on a Show Your Mix. Yeah, but I really like the production. Like the first thing that I noticed right at the beginning was the bass sound right here. It's like if you look at the analyzer, it's completely out of phase at the bottom and like really hard pan to the left. Like not hard pan to the left, but really phasey, but on the left side only. And especially if you switch to mono, all of a sudden you don't hear any sub-bass frequencies anymore. It just completely fades away. Nothing there anymore. Yeah, and exactly. So if you decide to like use re-spaces or anything that uses like a high amount of unison, first of all, bass sounds should most of the times be panned in the middle because that's because like the bass acts as the fundament of your harmonies and everything else in this track, and to really like give the feeling of a fundament, you want to feel that fundamental tone in the middle. And yeah, and if you use like wider sounds like re-spaces, like sounds with a lot of unison or anything, then I'd suggest that you use mid-side EQ and cut away like or lower the side amount of the sub-bass frequencies and amplify your the side amount of your mid signal of your bass. Yeah, and I definitely really like the singing, but I feel like it sounds like the vocal sound is a little bit too modern for this genre. Like it had like a little bit too much detail in the high end for my taste. Anyway, so um maybe it could be a great idea to use like a dynamic microphone instead of a condenser, or maybe lower or step a little bit further away from the microphone so it doesn't pick up so many details. For the mixing stage, it's simple, just like lower the high end a little bit and maybe raise the mids or high mids a little bit more and put your focus a little bit more on that. It's not like there is a lot of high end going on, but the high end that's there just feels a little bit too detailed.
Yep.
And also what I noticed that the bass sound for the second bass sound throughout the track, right here, I feel like that could use a little more overtones, a little more. Maybe try adding a little bit of saturation just to fill out that frequency area around 100 hertz a little bit more, because it just would create so much more power and energy throughout this track. Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree with the frequency range of the vocals. So especially at the end, when the vocals are really low, the high end is really crispy, which may sound good, but is not really fitting with this track. I would attenuate the higher frequencies and give it a little bit more of the fundamental tone of the vocals. So the impression gets even more big and dark. I think, as this song is called Dark Ritual, it would fit the intention of your track. And yeah, I really like the drums when they are kicking in, because like they are mixed, they are really there's some width, and it creates a cool spatial image. But I think you can work on this. So I could think of a more here more audible reverb on the drums, and it could be a little bit more of a fat sound with more low end.
Yeah.
Again, we are here at the Dark Ritual, and yeah, so less of 1K and more of the fundamental of the drums,
Yeah.
and then they sound more huge and more dark and warm. I think it would really improve your song. And yeah, also at one part, I noticed a resonance at the vocals. I think it's around 1K or 2K. Yeah, maybe you can check that. Do some of dynamic EQing, or take a notch filter at the resonance frequency. And yeah, I think that's it for this song, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. But great track.
Yeah.
Really like it. Okay, I think we've got time for one last track. And this time I'll give it a little bit of time.
It looks really loud.
Yeah. Definitely louder than the last track. Okay, and it's doing the same thing again. Who would have thought? So anyway, The track is by Mindblade and called NRG. And seems to be mastered and has a little bit of own sound design.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take a listen.
Oh yeah. Ooh. I'll just turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, that would be great.
You cannot fuck with this energy. You cannot fuck with this energy. Energy, energy. Love to all those in the session. All of those who are listening. Don't miss the message judging me. You cannot fuck with this energy. Love to all those in the session. All of those who are listening. Don't miss the message judging me. You cannot fuck with this energy. 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 You cannot fuck with this. I need more. You cannot fuck with this. I need more. You cannot fuck with this. 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 You cannot fuck with. You cannot fuck with this. You cannot fuck with this. You cannot fuck with this. Energy, 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 energy. Energy, 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 energy. Energy, energy, energy. Cannot fuck with this. Energy, 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 energy.
Energy. Energy. Energy.
I need more.
Energy.
I need more. More. I need more.
Energy. 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 Energy.
You cannot fuck with this. I need more.
Energy. Energy.
I need more.
Energy. Energy.
Cannot fuck with this. Cannot fuck with this.
Energy.
I need more.
Energy.
Cannot fuck with this.
Energy. Energy.
Nice.
Nice track.
Nice track. Definitely some cool sound design going on there.
Yeah.
So, you got anything you want to get off your
Yeah.
heart?
I'm really enjoying the vocals. They are really upfront and have a good impression to me. And yeah, I think speaking of the point upfront, we have a pretty good master here, mastered to a good amount of loudness. I think for this genre, for this style of music, we could go a little bit louder, even more.
Up to -5.
Maybe. And yeah, looking and hearing at the frequency range overall, it's really balanced. So good job here. And I'm not that into electronic music, so I have nothing to say, not a lot to say here. But I'm really enjoying the track. Only one thing was a bit of not so good for me hearing it. It's the bass or lead synth that you used, which is kicking in at some points and some accents. I think it's, in my taste, a bit too harsh and loud. I think this one could be a little um, warmer, and yeah, I think it's standing out too much of the rest of the song. There could be a little bit more of density in and clue of the tracks. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big bass house fan, so I also got a little bit of history in this genre myself. So so definitely like Marvin said, like minus 9.9 LUFS is a decent amount, but you could definitely go a little bit louder for this genre. Like if you compare it to like major dubstep artists that go up to like -6, even -4 LUFS sometimes, but that's a skill of its own to master music that loud without it sounding like trash. So if that was your limit that you could have gone to, then that's absolutely fine. I've also noticed that the kick sound is quite dynamic throughout the song. That would be like one thing that could help you achieve a louder master, would to decrease the dynamics in the sound in your kick sample by like compressing it a little bit stronger, maybe clipping the very tip of it off by using a hard clipper. And yeah, and you could also, for my taste, it could have like a little bit more bass for the kick, even though it's like maybe the upper bass range could be like a little bit stronger, just to give it a little bit more richness, a little bit more fullness. But apart from that, I think it's a really great mix. I like the sound design, like for most of the sounds. There are a couple of sounds in between that I felt were like also again like feeling a little bit hollow, but that's the thing with like FM sounds like that. And if you do like a hell of a lot of modulation, not every sound turns out perfect. But definitely the most of the sounds were great. One thing I noticed as well was the respace at the beginning. That could be a little, that in comparison to the rest of the sounds in this genre, it still feels a little underproduced. It could definitely like be a little wider. You could smash some OTT on it and a little bit more saturation, or maybe really crush the saturation with it, crush it with saturation, and then put a low pass filter on it, something like that, like just to give it more oomph, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
it's a professional music producer term, by the way. Yeah. No, just kidding. But yeah. But apart from that, great track, great bass house, great sound design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Nice. And I think that's it for today.
Yeah.
We've reached our time limit.
Thank you
And-
for sending your tracks. We really
Absolutely.
enjoyed it.
And see you next time.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.